Hi there, my name is Peter. I'm a resident of Kings Heath in South Birmingham, and I have real concerns about air pollution, air quality in the local area, in Kings Heath especially because that's where I live. I have a young daughter, she's 2 years old, and actually air quality and traffic levels really impact me on a daily basis in terms of the decisions I make when I'm going out and about with my daughter, with my family. I actively avoid Kings Heath High Street when I'm on my own, and especially when I'm with my daughter, because I can smell it, I can taste it, it's noisy, it's unpleasant, and I think there's a real issue around air quality and traffic in Kings Heath, as was demonstrated in the documentary in January called Fighting for Air, which I was also involved in. We showed that making small changes by getting kids to walk to school, by closing off parking bays, by encouraging people to use public transport, that you can actually make a real impact in improving air quality. So I think what needs to happen, and we need strong political leadership for this, is for more money to go towards public transport, prioritising active travel. Something like 60% of journeys in this country are between 2 and 5 miles. Now these are journeys that could easily be walked or cycled, but the fact is that we prioritise motor vehicles, and until we start to have a hierarchy where we try and make things better for people walking, cycling and using public transport, then I don't think we're going to make an impact, and it's really important that we do.
My name's Sarah. I live in Moseley but come to Kings Heath quite a lot to shop and go to the restaurants and pubs. Clean air is really important to me, but it should be important to everybody, and everybody should take responsibility for improving the air. Both me and my husband notice whenever we walk along the high street that it's not only really noisy, but we actually do feel a difference in our breathing, just our general well-being. It's just an unpleasant place to be. There's no any green spaces along the high street, and it's just a constant flow of really, really heavy traffic. Obviously there's the resident traffic, but there seems to be a lot of commercial traffic up and down there as well, which I think only adds to the problems.
I know there's a big issue with traffic on the Kings Heath High Street. Practically, I'm not sure how we could get rid of it. But we used to do a lot more, I think. Maybe not on the High Street itself, but perhaps on places like York Road.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious thing with the food festival is the Kings Heath Festival.
Yeah.
I'm afraid all of those seem to have stopped. I think that's a very sad thing. So I thought they were actually very good for Kings Heath.
Yeah.
I'm not sure some of the shop owners like them, which is why they might have stopped. But I think it's good to get people in and get a good vibe, and again get people mixing and talking to each other, and again, a sense of community really.
So what, do you come here for shopping? Yeah. And you come here by bike?
Yes.
How do you find travelling by bike down on the high street? Terrible.
Yeah. There is no space.
How do you think it would improve it for cyclists? What would you do to make things better?
I would get rid of some of the parking on it so you can have a cycle lane.
Yep.
And then like you actually have somewhere to be.
Yep.
Versus having to kind of force your way in and make cars pay attention to you.
The traffic here, and it's the girl who got knocked down there.
Yes.
With the truck, and I think that highlighted to the residents how dangerous this road is.
Absolutely.
So especially crossing at some points on the high street is so dangerous.
I mean, have you got any ideas how you would improve it? If you had a magic wand, what would you do to make this better?
It's a big truck. It's big
More
trucks.
crossings?
There's the trucks that come, all the delivery trucks that come up and down. It's just, we have the deliveries for Asda. They would reroute. And then we've got the Sainsbury's. So and Lidl.
Yes.
So there's and Wilco's. We've got big trucks coming in, and if there's a solution, there's so many secondary schools around this area. There's so many children. You have all these massive delivery trucks.
And when you come to the high street, do you just walk here? Is that what you do? You walk here, and so you don't need to park anywhere.
No.
It's easy for you. Okay, that's really.
I do use my car because I'm diabetic and I've got neuropathic pain.
Okay.
I have to park, and that is also a problem.
Okay. So do you park in the supermarkets?
Yes.
When usually that's how you deal with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to go into Asda's and then maybe come on the high street. But it's more a palaver, and I think it's better if I just walk and dealt with my pain, then dealt with the traffic. Yes, because it just seems a lot more hassle.
Yes.
And if you look at this street, it's just chock-a-block all the time. So I think pollution is a big problem here. It's definitely increased.
Terrible. There's so many accidents on that road, and even because the crossings are so far apart, even I dodge the traffic It's really horrible. So I really think they ought to do something.
And the volume of traffic as well.
Oh yeah, it's horrendous.
So, Colin, you've got a business just off the high street.
Yes.
And what's your experience of the high street itself in terms of parking and traffic?
Momentously bad.
Okay.
Traffic's terrible, pollution's awful. Parking, well, I don't think it's such an issue in King's Heath, quite frankly. There's plenty of parking off the high street. Surveys have shown that most people don't use cars when they come to King's Heath High Street. I think it's certainly less than 50%. I think it's down here at 30 that don't use cars to come in, either use the bus or they walk or they come in by push bike. There's certain surveys being done, and I think that we should follow them to reduce the pollution in the high street. It's very, very high. I know some business owners are a little bit worried about losing parking spaces, but the parking spaces that are in the high street are transient parking spaces, short term. People come in, park there, do their shopping and leave. They don't stay in the high street. If that space was used to make a better environment for people, they'd stay longer in the high street and spend more money.
What do you think about the high street?
The high street, my main thing is these massive lorries. I can't believe that they can't find a way of bypassing the high street. Also, the amount of buses sitting here and the amount of them that's coming through. I think I worked it out. I actually counted, I can't remember now. Probably about 30, 40 an hour.
Yep.
So it is shocking.
Problems? How would you?
I don't know if there is another road. I'd say I'd limit definitely stop the lorries.
Yeah.
Definitely, no doubt about it. Buses, I'm not sure whether we need that many, or is there another way out? I don't know the road systems around here, but they don't need to be down the high streets. Northfield, I know that wasn't a very busy one before, but I do like the way that that's only for locals. I like their pedestrianised area, and the fact that they took off all the ring road around the side. I don't know if we've got the systems or there's council to work away, but need it, definitely.
Hi, my name's Zoe and I'm on barrier duty for our street party, which happens once a year.
And what do you like about the street parties?
I really like it because the weather is often very good and it's a chance to meet neighbours and socialise and eat and drink in the road without any traffic, so it's a very pleasant experience.
So he's just taking a break to be official.
Slow down.
Okay. And what do you think these street closures kind of add to the community?
Well, I think it allows people to get to know each other, promotes social cohesion, and breaks down barriers in the community. We're all very busy, people lead busy lives, and sometimes it's quite hard to get to know your neighbours, especially when people travel by car a lot. So actually having a chance to take the traffic off the road is really good. And as you can see, the children are playing on the road with each other. We put gazebos up in the middle of the road, and it's just a very pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
Okay, down here we are at Blenheim Road Street Party. What do you think about street parties?
I've not been to that many. This is the first one I've been involved in, and I think it's a brilliant thing to have a bit more space, to use the space in a different way, brings people together, and it's a brilliant thing. I've only been driving for 2 years, but I cycled before that, so a lot of my issues are combined with being a cyclist, a vulnerable road user, and the way that people drive around Birmingham, especially my local area, obviously, because that's where I drive the most. I think that there needs to be better education for people in the way they drive. The amount of traffic, I guess, is really down to people's choice of journey and how they choose to how they choose to travel, which I think could be adjusted a little bit.
My name's Robert Sims. I live here at Springfield Road. What I like about street closures is it's an opportunity to go and meet all your neighbours, because I think these days a lot of people don't really know the neighbours very well. People a few houses down, no idea who they are, what they do. It's a great opportunity to meet them, and I think it also actually builds trust within a community if you know the people around you.
I think that what is really, really nice is to see streets being used for play, for fun, and actually to not have lots and lots of cars driving in them. This is a really, really lovely, joyful way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
How do you use the high street, and do you think that it could be improved at all?
I tend to walk and cycle everywhere. I think that my concern about the high street is that it's congestion, it's about the amount of traffic. I think that the free car parking on the high street should be taken out, because every time you look at the way, the amount of traffic hold-ups there, it's just ridiculous. So I think that the free car parking should come out, and actually far more people should use the most amazing and regular bus service, the number 50 bus. You know, it's kind of, and also I think that the high street, I do worry about the air quality. It's not going to be good with the amount of cars and the level of cars that are moving so slowly.